Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kyle Cambers. He is my host, my co-host Theo Diesenhaus and Caleb Hines, and this is the Center Bench Podcast. This is 101 The Show, and our phone number is 508-633-8715. Make sure you guys call in. We'll have the phones open during the show. So, Jarren Duran, he has been one of the hotter Red Sox during the season. He is second in AL batting average. He's hitting .317 this year, behind his fellow outfielder Masataka Yoshida. Theo, your thoughts on him?
I think Jarren Duran has been very good this year. Obviously, the 6 homers, that's more than he's had in any year, as he's only had 5 in his last. So he only has 11 total. But I don't really trust Jarren Duran as your Red Sox starting center fielder for the future. I think he's just a short-term kind of guy. I don't know. I just don't trust him. I mean, last year he was terrible. I think it's just a little bit of a fluke season. I don't know. A lot of questions on Duran.
Caleb,
So for Duran, he's been incredibly productive. He worked on himself after a really rough year last season, where he was struggling mentally, physically. Just his whole looked like a bust of a prospect. But he changed his game, changed his swing during the offseason. In the 317, a chance to get the AL batting title. And his defense has been great this year. Isn't really something that it just changed like that. That's to the point where you can't call it a fluke. And the way he's changed himself so much, I think he's gonna be in Boston for a long time.
Funny that you mentioned defense, because last year against the Toronto Blue Jays, Raimel Tapia hit a pop-up to center field. He just lost it.
Yeah.
Didn't even hustle. So the fact that you mentioned hustle and improving.
That type of stuff is something that there's one play that this year he made a dive, tried to dive at a ball, got past him. And normally, Alex Cora was talking about it was like normally, he'd be in a bad mood for the rest of the game, but he came up, hit a home run his next at bat, and Cora said like that's Jarren. This year you can see the mental part of it. I said that he changed. You can really see that he's evolved there, and it's a totally different player.
I think I would compare Jarren Duran to like an Andrew Benintendi. Kind of the 2017 season wasn't great for Benintendi. He came back 2018 strong. 2019 he was hurt. So I feel like if we're on that Andrew Benintendi trajectory, it's not going to be – I mean, obviously Andrew Benintendi is one of the league's superstars, I guess, now. He had a great last 2022 season. But I don't know. His career is kind of shaping out to be a Benintendi.
Guys, remember, phones are open. The number is 508-633-8751. So, and Trevor Story, he was injured for most of the season. He, last night, homered in his AA rehab assignment. What are your thoughts? Oh, hold on. We got phones ringing. Who do I have on the line today?
Hello, is it Red? And here, I'm just curious. What do I look for in the future of Jarren Duran and our young farm systems?
So Duran, there's a lot of there's a lot of it's kind of there's a lot of outfield prospects in the farm system. So there's a point where maybe you trade those guys, maybe Duran's contract gets up there and you just decide to let him go. That's all stuff in the future. It's good to have the depth. Kind of these shortstops that Chaim Bloom's drafting,
Marcel Mayer.
It's more like these second round guys. Those they just drafted Nissan Zentel second round, but you already got the shortstop that maybe turn those guys to outfield. It's a good problem to have having that problem.
So about Trevor Story, he is looking to come back within the next month or so. He was spotted taking live BP in Worcester at Polar Park the other day. And as I mentioned, he had hit a 2-run home run, played 5 innings at short, then he DH'd a whole game, then played another 5 innings at short. What do you think this means for the Red Sox infield-wise?
I think if Trevor Story gets back before the deadline, which I don't think he is, but I think a healthy Trevor Story means Kike Hernandez is gone. Hernandez, he's been playing shortstop kind of for this team. He's not a great fielder in terms of infield. He's a good outfielder, but he's not a great infielder. And they have Duvall. They have a solid outfield in Verdugo also. So I think that Kike Hernandez is on the trade block, and he's going to be playing for a different team after August 1st.
Yeah, I think Story is desperately needed. I mean, you got Kike, who's provided basically nothing. I mean, he's a good guy that can move around. Just not good at shortstop. Maybe have him at second. Better guys at short. Yeah, Pablo Reyes, Yu Chang, Christian Royal. Christian Royal's been struggling hitting, and Yu Chang just can't hit. Pablo Reyes is the better hitter out of those that group of kind of subpar guys. So I can see Reyes maybe being a backup, putting Royal at second, trading Kike, get some relief pitcher or something. Trevor's bat is desperately needed though, because as I mentioned, not a lot of those guys can really hit.
Kike has had one of the lower averages during his career this season, so
Yu Chang and defensively, Trevor's probably the best. So yeah.
well, I think that is all for today, folks. Join us next time. See you later.